Ready?
I was ready 3 minutes ago.
On behalf of the Rainbow Lakes Estates Advisory Board, welcome to the August 15th, 2024 Advisory Board Meeting. As a courtesy to others, please silence your cell phones and other electronic devices. If you need to take a call, please step outside. Talking or outbursts from the audience during this meeting will not be permitted. Please take seats if they are available. Scheduled requests will be allotted 5 minutes. If you signed up at the door to speak, you will be granted 2 minutes. If you have a non-agenda item to discuss, you may do so during the general public comment portion toward the end of the meeting. No additional time will be allotted. Board members and guests, if you specifically call upon the speaker in the audience during the meeting, please address the chair first. You do not need to address the chair to speak to other board members or to anyone from the public who is addressing the board during the agenda or general public comment portions of the meeting. This board has not allowed in the past, nor will allow in the future. Oh, I know this part. This is my favorite part. Personal attacks or insults against Rainbow Lakes Estate staff, advisory board members, or community volunteers. Please keep your comments appropriate. Okay, invocation. Holy One, known by many names and beyond all names, thank you for every seat that has been filled here today, for each mind and heart that fills the presence of this room, we thank you. Only you truly know what we are setting out to accomplish today. We have an idea, a vision, hints, and daily instructions. We have talents, abilities, and time to work. However, only you can see in perfect detail the end of every beginning, every project, every season, every life. Nothing is ever in vain, for even mistakes and missteps are used for good. Your righteousness transcends all our efforts and understanding. Forgive us for our pride, the pride that puffs us up, and the pride that threatens to unqualify us. Strengthen our confidence in who you have made us to be. Set us free from comparison in order to work together efficiently. Bless this meeting today, all those present, all the residents, volunteers, and employees of Rainbow Lakes Estates, as well as the lives of those we will encounter afterwards. Ready us to make every moment count. Amen. Pledge of allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Tiffany, can you do the roll call, please?
Kathy Bryant. Here. Colin Brotlet. Here. Gary Levitt. Alan McKay.
Here.
Dallas Sedlin.
Here.
Rico Spuzza.
Here.
Dan Wilcherson.
Here. Thank you. We have no agenda item. Anybody to speak on the agenda items? No? All right, moving on from that. I need an approval for the minutes for July 8th. I need a motion and a second and an approval for the minutes of July 18th, 2024. Does any board members have concerns?
I have reviewed them and I will make the motion.
I need a second.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, on to our advisory committee reports. Vice Chairman, Public Safety Representative, Alan George McKay.
Mr. Chairman, fire and rescue statistics are finally starting to come through on a regular basis. They've fixed the problems with their IT people, and now we're getting them first week of the month, which is excellent. I thank them profusely. Fire rescue statistics for Station 14, that's the station down on 41. Urgent medical is 26, life-threatening 2, immediate medical assist 7, urgent fire 2, immediate fire assist 1, routine fire 4, for a total of 44 incidents in Rainbow Lakes Estates. Only the Marion County portion. That doesn't include I received a report from FDOT engineer Michael Sanders, and there's been no change in the status of the traffic signal at US 41 and Rainbow Lakes Boulevard. It continues to go through the state process. The condition of our buildings is paramount in my agenda. We have several, namely our clubhouse and the Creative Arts Center, in need of repair and or renovation. I feel this needs to be our most urgent need at the time. Safety and comfort of our residents should be our most important goal. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
That was short this month. Your computer break?
Well, I'm trying to be brief.
Levy County Representative Daniel Schusen.
All right, this month, no updates on code enforcement. Everything's running through as it should be. The new magistrate process in Levy County is working, so it is moving through. We don't have as many issues that are sitting out there and pending. Roads maintenance, I do need to file a work order for a review of Southeast 114 and Southeast 125th Court. This is a repetitive one. We have, it's a feeder road that feeds out to unincorporated Levy, and the apron on it where it meets 114th is opening up again. We've now got 3 good-sized potholes. I do have residents that have gone out and put sand. It does not work. We need something to fill that and then seal it. Public safety, I wanted to thank Tiffany. We got the new stop sign up at Southeast 139th. We did have some folks that were using 125th Court as a raceway for a while. That has changed in the past couple of weeks. We finally have some sort of law enforcement presence out there. It was not provided by either one of the counties. It is because we have new owners out there, and both of them are employed in law enforcement. So now we have one cruiser and we have one FHP that drives through Marion County's neighborhood to gain access to their residents. I have my police presence, thank you. Other than that, I think we're good on the Levy County side.
All right, thank you, Dan. Okay, Roads Representative Gary Levitt, not here today. Mr. MSTU Director, I want to point out that this is Mr. Levitt's 3rd meeting that he has missed, and it is this board's policy that they be removed from the board if they've missed 3 consecutive meetings in a row.
Yes, sir. I'll get with the commission office and verify all that. So
Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. Buildings and Grounds Representative Kathy Bryant. Different Kathy.
Okay. The only thing I have is the fitness center is currently closed for repairs. That shouldn't take long. And I would like to remind everybody that Education Day at Sea Cliff Community Park is on August the 19th, and we hope that everyone will come and enjoy. I also would like to compliment the maintenance staff for the wonderful job that they're doing this year, keeping the weeds away from our roads and making it much safer for us.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, Kathy. Is that it?
Yep, that's it.
Okay, Code Enforcement Representative Rico Spacuzza.
Yeah, nothing new. Haven't really received any complaints or any concerns from any residents in a while. The one that I've been trying to keep up on was the one that we had a few months back where the folks that bought this house were apparently digging a channel. That's been sent on, I believe, to the EPA. But no new news on that yet.
Well, you're looking for complaints, drive through the pines.
Just listen to him. You'll hear lots of them. Yeah.
I could always throw a couch on the front lawn. Recreation Representative Paula Golick.
Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay, good. I haven't done this in a while, so I went to the Marion County website And I thought I would tell you how to get to Rainbow Lakes Estates, because you have to go through some steps. When you go to the Marion County website, there's a thing above the picture of the fire truck or the horses, and it says agencies and departments. You click on that. Then there's a list on the left-hand side. You go down to MSTU/assessment. It's in the left-hand column. You click on that. And then you click on Rainbow Lakes Estates, which again is in the left-hand column. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Rainbow Lakes Estates Family Game Night is from 4 to 8 p.m. in the Youth Center for people who are members of the Youth Center. They will be the third Wednesday of each month. Tater Tot Tuesday will be in the Community Center every Tuesday from 10 a.m. to noon. The Rainbow Lakes Estates Plant Swap will be in the Community Center from 6 to 7 p.m. on August 20th. They will be held the third Tuesday of each month. The next one will be September 17th. Pickleball is every Monday and Thursday at 8 a.m. at Seacliff Park. The Meet and Eat Hot Dog and Hamburger Community Dinner will be 9/27 at 6 p.m. in the Community Center. Rainbow Lake Estates residents only. Please bring a Florida driver's license or a utility bill with a Rainbow Lakes Estates address to prove RLE residency. The Rainbow Lakes Estates Youth Center is open Wednesday from 4 to 8 and Friday from 4 to 8. Volunteers are needed to help out. A level 1 background check is necessary. Rainbow Lakes Estates will pay for the application, and you can get it and fill it out and take it back to our district office. The fitness center tours and regulations are available every Wednesday. Call 352-489-4280 to book an appointment. For Rainbow Lakes Estates residents only, an annual fee is charged. Aviation Day will include a radio-controlled airplane show on August 19th from 5:30 to 7:30 at Seacliff Park. And Tiffany was telling me about what's going to go on, and it's going to be really neat, so you should come. The club calendars and upcoming events flyers are on the table at the entrance to this building. The Fall Craft Festival will be November 9th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Community Center. Vendors are needed. Call 352-489-4280 to register as a vendor by October 21st. The lock on the fitness center is malfunctioning. An email will be sent out when the lock is functional again. Call 352-489-4280 if you have questions about this. That's all.
That it, Paula? That was short too.
Yeah, I'll cut it down.
You're all trying to get out of here early tonight. I'm gonna have to stretch it out. Okay, we have something new here today that we're gonna start doing every month. A staff report from Pamela Spacuzza, the RLE Community Center Supervisor. I do want to remind everybody that Pam is not a board member. She is an county employee that oversees everything within Rainbow Lakes Estates. So, Pam, go. It's taken me 7 years to get you to start speaking.
So I'm going to start with the budget report. So for the month of July, we collected $28,524.40 in the general government fund. And the expenditures in that fund was $37,227.90. The majority of that $37,000 was, we paid for the removal of the vote approach. Sorry, I have a
Is your microphone on?
Can you hear me? Better?
That's better, yeah. Did you all hear anything she had to say?
I did.
Oh, okay.
Did you hear me?
Yeah, I did, yes.
So the majority of the $37,000 is we removed the approach for the vote ramp over there. We also finished paying for the new sound system here. And also the mulch for the playgrounds. That was the majority of the 37,000 in the general government. For recreation, revenue collected was $3,307.68, and the expenditures were $11,886.60. So, and then for road construction or the road and street, revenue collected was $24,661.85. Expenditures were $31,011.62. So some of the projects that we've completed was the removal of the boat ramp, which we had budgeted $10,000, but the total for the project was $6,435, which was $3,565 under budget. So right now, you're gonna see that there's a little bit of a mess out there. We have an issue with the runoff. So they're going to come back and fill it back in with some dirt and some gravel. And then they're going to cover it with an erosion control blanket that is used on stabilizing areas that are prone to erosion. So embankments, bridge embankments, and steep grades. The other project that we are working on is the rowing machine for the fitness center. That came in under budget also. We budgeted $3,200. The total cost was $1,520, so it was $1,680 under budget. We also have scheduled next Thursday replacement of installation of more playground mulch for here at this playground and at Seacliff Community Park. That was also under budget. We budgeted $10,000 and the total cost was $7,200. The basketball court resurfacing, we received the purchase order for that. That was also under budget. We budgeted $10,000 and that came back at $8,000. So we're waiting on them to put us on the schedule. Some of our upcoming events is September 27th is the meet and greet. For that, we will be having hamburgers, hot dogs, potato salad, macaroni salad, and ice cream. And for all of these special events, I will be sending out assignments for the advisory board and the volunteers. October 25th is our Ghost Goblins and Ghouls Halloween event in the youth center from 5 to 9. We'll be doing crafts, games, candy in the hay, and we're advertising it as come see us after Romeo Roundup. So it's in participation with Romeo Roundup. I know that there were some questions about that from the advisory board.
Yes, thank you.
We're also doing a monthly supply drive for Romeo Elementary. We started out with the lice kits and that sort of thing. This month is ice pops and easy mac and cheese, and next month is peanut butter and jelly. So we collect those at the district office. If you guys want to drop something off, or any of you guys want to drop some stuff off for us, we'll be taking what we've collected so far on September 12th over to Romeo. So also we are going to run a special in September. For the month of September, if you book your wedding here in the community center and from February 1st to May 31st, we'll be offering 50% off of the hourly rate. And it will also include use of the gazebo and the bridal room.
Great.
And we're trying to get some interest.
Yes.
For the fall festival, with the alteration of the parking lot, it has given us extra room. So we now have 150 outdoor spots. We still have the 35 indoor spots. The music is going to be provided by TJ Brown Band. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of him. Face painting is going to be by Mama Squatch. We still have to contact the pony ride lady. I think she came out for free last year, but she charged $5 a ride. The indoor spots, we have 35, which is the same as last year. The food trucks, we have 7 spots. So far, we have sent out 155 registration forms. We've received 35 back, 15 inside, 18 outside, and 2 food trucks. And let's see, they just gave me updated numbers on what we've collected. So we have collected $669 so far. Do you guys have any questions about the community craft festival?
No.
And again, that will be, you'll be getting your assignments. What we're gonna do this year, instead of you guys having to be here for the whole thing, we're gonna do an hour for each board member at your table. And then that way you can just, it's an hour and then you can go enjoy everything. Okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
I have an update for
Yeah,
you.
we got a lot of information. A lot of residents came to that table last year. And a lot of concerns and different issues that, were taken care of, so.
And you'll also hand out flyers for the clubs and the events and stuff by then. We'll have next year's events already planned. So you can hand those out for everyone.
Right.
I will not be present 9/27. I will be out of state. So you can take me off of the schedule for that.
Okay.
And could I please get a copy of the financial reports?
Sure.
The last set I got was back in January, and I wanted to get them on a quarterly. And I know we're like into our 3rd quarter now, so I'd like a chance to review those before, because I'm already running 6 months behind now.
Well, we're gonna be giving a finance report every meeting. That I'll be doing that from now on. I'll do a finance report.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah, and, with the report, I did on my report, which I left over at the office, I did explain what some of the major expenses were and that the expenditures amount.
Perfect. That helps me out a lot, thank you. It's just for my edification, when it comes time for budgets, I need to have some sort of historic knowledge of where these dollars are going.
So I will get you a copy of these reports, okay, Dan?
Thank you, I appreciate it.
You're welcome. I'm all done. Thank you.
Thank you, Pam.
Thank you for your time.
Always good to hear from you. Okay, that's it for all our, is it still on? Oh, sure. Okay, our special committee guests today are Lieutenant Julie Vowinkle, Marion County Sheriff's Office, Chad Wicker, the Marion County MSTU Director, Katie Burton, the Marion County MSTU Recreation Manager, and Dana Oleski, the Marion County Chief Assistant County Attorney, is absent tonight. I've gotten used to seeing her here. Okay, an additional guest here tonight is Marion County Commissioner Kathy Bryant. Commissioner Bryant is a commissioner for District 2, which includes the greater Denellen area. She has always made herself available to speak to residents and address all their questions and concerns, so I thank her for her service to our community and all of Marion County.
Thank you, Dallas. It's my.
Okay, so we will start with Lieutenant Vowinkle.
Hi, everyone. So happy to report. No
Is your microphone on?
You guys can't hear me?
No.
No way. I can hear myself echoing. Could you guys hear me? Yes. Yeah, that's what I thought. So no trending crimes in the area. We continue to get complaints for the speeders off of Soundview. I say complaints. It's one person complaining. There are people speeding. The guys and girls are getting in here when they can in between calls for service. I've also requested the traffic unit out here, so you've probably seen them in here. They've been out here a couple times to address the speeding issues as well.
Very good. Very good.
Is that it?
That's all.
Oh, that's sure. Anybody any questions?
No, as always, really do appreciate the attention. It's very much appreciated. I appreciate it, and I'm sure all the residents do as well.
Thank you.
Ticket those speeders.
Okay, I did.
Mercilessly, ticket them.
I did have something that concerned me. I didn't even notice. Apparently, 41 does not have a bike lane there.
It don't have what?
A bike lane.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm kind of very surprised how many of our residents actually work in Denellen and ride bicycles. I've received a few complaints that the way the drivers are there, forcing them off the road and what have you. One fella told me he's had like 6 flats in a month. So maybe you can look into that somehow and start giving out tickets.
That should be like the road department, maybe look into, well, maybe she has the answer.
They need to contact FDOT. 41 is under the purview of the Florida Department of Transportation. It's not a county road.
Yeah.
It's a state road.
Right.
And so the best thing they can do is probably either send me an email and then I can forward it to FDOT.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. That's a road, because it's a state road, the county has no control, no purview over that at all.
All right. I appreciate that. Thank you, Lieutenant.
You're welcome.
All right, that it? No questions. Moving on, Chad Wicker, Marion County MSTU Director. Go on, Chad. I know I see flowers in front of me.
Well, no, I didn't know if you wanted me to wait until later on the agenda to cover these.
That's right.
The only thing I do want to mention, though, is during the budget workshop, the budget workshop we had with the commissioners, we did present a name change for our department, and it looks like it's going to go through come October 1. The only thing we did was drop tax and unit, so the new name would be Municipal Services.
It's about time and much less confusing.
Yeah, it will help us. It'll help us with we want to re-image and rebrand the department and kind of get some, and I can bring some more information back to the board at the next meeting, but we want to get some more tools out there to educate the public about what we offer. And so the best way for us, one of the things we wanted to do was remove the taxing unit, so it just says Municipal Services. MSTU is one of the services we provide, MSBU, MSD obviously, so we just kind of make it a little bit more user-friendly. But I can definitely bring back some more information about that at the next meeting, but I did want to mention that.
Okay, great.
That's all I have.
It doesn't mean I'll stop driving you all crazy.
No, it's okay, come on. We're all right.
Okay, thanks, Chad. Katie Burton, anything you want to add? The MSTU Recreation Manager.
Katie Burton, Community Manager. I did want to update, along with that rebrand and the Municipal Services name will come our new resident postcard, so I am waiting until that's all fully launched so that we can do it under the new branding. So we'll have that ready to go after 10 months as well.
I just wanted to ask one question on that. Will we have a stock of that here? Or will that all be sent from Marion County?
We'll mail them out from our office at Maine, but we can have them here as well.
Perfect, because I want to, like the new people that just moved in,
Yeah.
2 officers, like to get them some
Absolutely.
information.
Yes. And I did want to address the website. We do try to post the link to the direct web page on Facebook. We can be a little more vigilant about getting that on there. And on the communicator on that back page, that QR code will take you directly to that web page, so you don't have to navigate through. So if that helps with any confusion on that website.
Cool.
Thank you.
All right. That it? All right.
That's for us.
Commissioner Bryant, do you have anything you want to add or say?
I'm just happy to be able to be here this evening. Unfortunately, my schedule doesn't allow me to get out here a lot. I know we were just here a few months ago, and I do try to come whenever my schedule does allow it. I'm excited to be here and just be an observer as to everything that you've got going on. And I know that there's been some conversations about some different things that the board would like to do. And I'm just ready to sit and observe and jump in if you need me.
Right. Yeah, we're kind of a pushy group here.
I think she knows that.
All right, thank you. And thank you for coming out tonight. All right, ooh, no consent items. Moving on. Old business. 6A, Rainbow Lakes Boulevard and the first meeting, Island Landscaping. Update and discussion on the progress of this project, and I see the flowers now.
Yes. So Mr. Peak did give us some quotes or some numbers for that project. I don't know if you want me to read through each one of them, or if you guys just wanted to glance over it. And again, these are just estimates, you know, but he estimated for the cutout beds on both walls of the entrance would be $200. The entrance, talking about adding drought tolerant plants, which I did provide some pictures down there just to kind of give you an idea of what that may look like. He's estimating 120 of those plants for a total of $402. For the entrance, pine bark mulch once per year, 2 yards for that would be $130. And then for the median cutting out beds on both ends would be $200. Annual plants, he's estimating about 800 of those plants, so that would be $1,240. Again, the pine bark mulch, 1 yard, $65. And then the irrigation system, we really don't know what's there yet. It's kind of unknown. So he's kind of estimating that. We won't know until we actually get out there and do the work, but things like change out the time clock, the valves, sprinkler heads, all of that he's estimating at $2,000. So the initial cost or startup for this project would be $4,237. Again, that's just a rough estimate. And then for the annual reoccurring cost, if we wanted to keep up with that, for the median portion of it, the quarterly replacement of those annual plants 4 times a year at $1,240 each time, so it's $4,960. And then just to refresh the pine bark mulch at the entrance in the median, once a year would be $195, so it would be an annual cost of $5,155 for those 2 items. And that's all I have. I'm going to open it up for discussion.
I just had one question. I had brought this up at one of our previous meetings when we were talking about redoing the front entrance. Knowing that FDOT is working on a project to widen 41 in certain areas, I wanted to make sure that we had dotted our I's and crossed our T's with them to make sure that we're not making this kind of an investment of our residents' dollars into something that's going to eventually have to be moved, torn down, or remodeled or redone in some way. Has anybody done that yet?
I have not heard, but I'll follow up with that tomorrow when I get to the office.
I don't think the widening's coming this far down. I believe it's supposed to start, I might have it right, 2026, widen it down to Riverland Baptist Church. But I don't think that there's any, I haven't heard anything about it going forward after that.
I'm sorry. If the board wants to vote on it tonight, it could be contingent on me verifying with FDOT that it's not.
Yeah, I did have a question. It says cut out beds on both ends.
Both ends of the median?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So it's not including planting around the trees?
I'm not sure I can verify that. Is it?
Right. And
no, it is not.
out at the front entrance walls, there's like a 1 bush on one side and 2 other crap bushes on the other side. Are they removing those bushes?
From what I understand, they would be removing those bushes.
Okay, so it'll all look
Look
uniform?
fresh and new and, yeah, uniform on both sides.
Okay.
Okay, the other
Now,
question
we didn't vote to do this already? We voted for just to get the estimates?
Yes, sir.
Correct.
Yes, sir. You wanted to see some prices before we move forward.
Right.
That is correct.
And
Okay, so
the other question I had, is this the same outfit that's doing the grass, cutting the grass on the medians?
What's that? I'm sorry?
Is this the same company that's doing the grass, cutting the grass on the median?
is this the same company that's mowing our public areas?
No, sir. It's a different company.
Different company altogether?
I'm gonna take it that, George, you gotta complain about the grass mowing.
Yeah, I gotta complain about the grass mowing. They're not doing it. I cut my grass more than they have, and I don't like to cut grass. I don't get paid to do it. They get paid to do it, and they're not cutting it as often as it should be done.
So you're talking about the median out
The
front?
medians, yeah, it looks like a jungle frequently, and
Yeah, so that's a separate company that actually cuts our facilities also. So our facilities is one company, and then they got a different company to do the median out front.
okay.
We'll get Pete on.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Could I ask, could we get perennials instead of having to switch out annuals 4 times a year?
I don't see an issue with that. I mean, it's up to the board, whatever the board would like.
This board wants the most cost-effective solution to our problem. I mean,
If the board's okay, yeah, I'm okay. I don't have a preference when we're.
yeah, because I'll be honest with you, I mean, the initial cost, quite honestly, I think is well within reason. I don't have an issue with that at all. I start getting a little concerned when I look at signing up for an annual maintenance cost that's higher than the actual initial job. So I'm kind of behind what she's saying, that maybe we can try something that doesn't require as much maintenance.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay.
And there are some, if I may, if you're looking for maybe some color, Chad, when you go back to them, there are some more drought resistant shrubs that flower, and then some that actually have some color. I can't think the name of it right now. I actually have it at my house. It's a shrub, and the leaves get yellow. They're
Okay.
small, and
Yeah.
it's very nice looking, and that might be a more cost-effective thing to do, because then you're just planting once. And there's also a small, very small azalea plant, like it
Mhm.
doesn't get big and it flowers a lot. But that might be some suggestions for you too, instead of doing the annuals, because that is a lot of money.
We can absolutely take a look at that, absolutely.
I
All right,
appreciate
so-
it, thank you. I'm sorry, I mean.
No,
I know you guys-
it's a valid point, absolutely.
Yeah, but I mean, that's why we wanted to like see some numbers, so then we're like scratching our heads going, okay,
Yes,
well.
sir.
So what you were looking for was a vote on this today, but I guess you gotta come back with some answers for this board.
And Mr. Chair, if I may, the board should maybe have a little discussion and give him direction as to what you're looking for in those beds. So that when he comes back to you, he'll have that, whether you want shrubs or whether you want flowers, shrubs that flower, that might make it.
Yeah.
I'm actually,
Do you guys have suggestions?
I'm fine with this, other than, the other mediums also, there's a random tree here and there, but I think that would be our maintenance department to remove that crap, because
Yes, sir.
they look ridiculous, but I don't have an issue with this, so I don't know what the rest of the board thinks, so speak, people.
I've got no problem with flowers, they're pretty, but if they've gotta be constantly replaced, I don't see the real need for that. So this maintenance, annual maintenance, $5,000 a year, I think that's a bit much. I think we need the commissioner's idea of drought tolerant plants. I think that's a much better idea.
I agree.
They're attractive.
And I mean, like I said, I will leave it open, right? I mean, I'm not a horticulturist, I'm not a gardener. My house, low maintenance, that is the key, okay? So when I push back on it, it's like, I want to leave it open. Let's ask them, this is what we're looking for. We're trying to dress this up, give it a little bit of color. We're not looking, this is not Pasadena, folks.
Yeah.
This is Florida, okay? We want something that is drought tolerant, adds a little color, will catch the eye a little bit, but not distract.
So are you wanting to provide me with some suggestions, or do you want to leave it up to the landscape company to provide us with?
Yeah, I think that if you went back to them, I think that they could give you some ideas of different things that they could use.
And then what's down at the bottom is actually drop tolerant.
Yes, I saw that,
Okay.
yes.
Lantana, I've got lantana around my house.
Are you thinking something more along this
And these
line?
are annuals?
No, sir, these are.
These are perennials.
Did I say that?
Perennials.
Lantana keeps coming back, you
The
can't kill it.
perennials, right. I thought they were perennials.
So if you
I
want
can kill
something
it.
more like this in the middle also, you know, we can definitely do that, or if you want me to ask the landscape company to give us some suggestions.
Well, I think that as far as the center median is concerned, I think that our issue as a board is that it needs to be cleaned up. It's a bit of an eyesore. If that means removing the trees so that the mowers can operate easier through that area to maintain it, then maybe that's what we need to do and give up on the trees. I think that if we start adding more beds, we're adding more maintenance. When you add more maintenance, you increase the cost. No.
For little benefit,
Correct.
very little benefit.
Thank you.
I see what they did here. The drought tolerant plants would be up at the brick walls.
Correct.
The annuals would be on the island, which does have
Irrigation.
irrigation.
Yes, sir. But they would still need to be replaced up to 4 times a year. So that's where your cost is coming in.
I think we need to look into Kathy's suggestion.
But you know, replacing them 4 times a year also changes the look and adds something a little different, no different than the seasons. You know, when we throw up something for Halloween versus Thanksgiving and Christmas. So I think that I don't see the big issue with replacing them 4 times a year.
I draw your attention to the bold number at the bottom of the page.
That's more than the cost of installing it in the first place.
Thank you, George.
All right, so I take it from
Perennials
the
can be different. You know, if you put a mixture of perennials, you can have color all year long in Florida. Not like in Illinois when there's snow everywhere, you know, you don't get color then, but in Florida, if you know what you're doing, you're supposed to be able to have color all year long. So that, I mean, they should know how to mix the perennials, and they would need to fertilize it throughout the year, but they wouldn't have to pull it all up and put, you know, brand new stuff 4 times a year.
Yeah, I just need direction from the board. Right now, I have 3 different directions. So we are not sure we want to add plants because we want less maintenance. I have let the landscape company decide what to put in there, or you want me to bring you back options?
The point, I don't think it's the point.
I think,
It's the cost. It's the cost. $5,000 a year just to replace some flowers, I think is ridiculous. It's a waste.
I get your point. I personally don't feel that that's outrageous. Would also depend how many plants, I mean,
Yeah. Again, this is just an estimate.
you know. But I like the idea of the appearance changing 4 times a year. I think that adds something to
Excuse me, Chair.
What's that?
Mr. Chair, if I may, Chad, I think you have 3, like you said, you have 3 different directions you've been given. Why don't, board, if it pleases you, why don't you let Chad bring you back the 3 different options, and then you can talk them over at your next meeting. Because
Yeah.
it sounds like staying.
I think that's a good.
Cadillac, Volkswagen, or wagon, you know.
What's that?
I'll second
Cadillac, Volkswagen, or wagon.
So I want to make sure that I'm clear, so I bring back what the board wants. I'm going to bring back an option of just cleaning up the median without adding any flowers, so it's less maintenance. I'm going to bring back a suggestion from the landscape company of what they're recommending to put in there. And then my third option was adding all of these and
Unless you have a consensus that they don't want this.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Or you're wanting me to go ahead and put annuals in there. Those are the 3 options you want.
I think that their complaint, and I'm saying their complaint,
Or nothing.
is the reoccurring costs.
Mr. Chairman?
The recurring cost is the bad part. The original, I mean, good grief, if it stayed at that, that'd be just fine. But
Mr. Chairman?
Oh, you. I'm not used to this with the new microphone.
We already pay for maintenance. So that's really not, that's already in, so Dan's suggestion is we already do that. So that would cut it down to 2. We already paid for the maintenance.
So I think you can, as a board,
Yeah.
just if you can give consensus today, if you want this, or if you want the alternative, that gives Chad really clear direction.
I would like to see more perennials.
I would like to see an alternative. Thank you.
I'd like to see alternative also.
You got 1, 2, 3, and there's 3 that haven't given direction.
I was fine with it the way it was.
I mean, I'm good with perennials. If it's in the median, they wouldn't even have to mow because there would be perennials in the median.
Right.
So we wouldn't have the mowing problem.
So you have the majority that want the alternative.
I will bring that back with the costs.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you, Chad.
Okay. Oh, I lost my way. 6B, clubhouse renovations. Update on the estimates for renovations and consideration of which projects this board feels are most needed within the building.
All right, y'all ready?
Yes.
All righty, so I brought back to the board 2 options. The first option is basically replacing the roof that is currently in there. We did include some paint for the hallways and meeting room, commercial grade carpet in the main meeting room, updating the lighting fixtures to LED, and adding some acoustic wall panel in there so it's a little bit better for sound. And then of course, we did have the building tested, and I'm not sure if it was mentioned in the last meeting or not. The only thing that has the asbestos in it is the ceiling, and so to remediate that, we also included that in the project. So if we just wanted to replace the ceiling and update that main area, if the project total would be $49,500. And again, that does include the asbestos remediation. And then option 2, we're bringing back to you because there was some talk with some of the board members that they would also like to go ahead and update the bathrooms and everything, bring those up to ADA compliance. So the second option, that's the $136,000, that would include everything in the first option along with bathroom reconfiguring it to make it ADA compliant, the hallways in there, everything would be ADA compliant. Paint the floors and electric panels in the hallway would be redone. The lighting fixtures again would be upgraded to LED, and then we would add the acoustic wall panel. And again, the remediation for $22,000. So those are the 2 options I brought back to the board for consideration. I'm gonna open it up for discussion and whatever the board's.
Aren't they newer light fixtures in there now? They're old. Okay.
Okay, legal wise, I mean, with codes and so forth, do we have to have ADA compliant bathrooms?
If you touch those bathrooms, we would have to bring them up to ADA compliance.
If we touch the
If
bathroom.
you do anything in those bathrooms, we have to bring them up to
Right.
ADA compliance.
Okay, the only thing I don't see on here is the cost of what it would be to install a drop ceiling.
You're wanting the drop ceiling option in there?
Well-
Hold on, I can.
For acoustics, a drop ceiling is going to be better, and if you end up with those soundboards, they just ugly no matter how you look at them.
I believe the drop ceiling, hold on, let me see if I can pull it up here. I believe that was 60,000. Hold on, again, don't quote me on that. Yeah, 68 or 69,000.
How much?
68 or 69,000 to do the, just to do the acoustic drop ceiling.
Did you just say 68 to 69,000?
It was the total project, just for the ceiling. It was option 1, but instead of doing it with the new gypsum ceiling, it was the drop down. Hold on, I'm trying to pull it up on my email, I can get it to you.
I would think that drop ceiling would be less.
Than just replacing, patching No, the reason why is because you also have to move the HVAC, the light fixtures, everything has to come down. So it was an additional
ductwork and stuff, yeah.
But if we put up a drop, do we have to remove the asbestos?
Yes, because it's open. So you would also have to do the remediation.
And we've got holes in the ceiling, boss.
What's that?
We got holes in the ceiling.
Yeah, well, the purpose of drop ceilings are to cover, you can go in buildings all across any county in any state, and you'll find drop ceilings covering the crap that's above them. I see, all right.
It is loading. I'm sorry, I apologize. All right, so for the acoustic tile, the project total. Okay, yeah, so the suspended ceiling is $20,000 just for the ceiling. So for option 2, you would add $20,000 to make it a suspended ceiling.
Not 68 or 69, it's 20,000 now.
The 62,000 was option 1 with the acoustic, with the drop.
All right, nice.
Yeah, but the actual individual line item for meeting room suspended ceiling is 20,000, and that's to drop all the HVAC, the lighting fixtures, and ceiling fans.
But you still have to have the asbestos remediation.
Still have to
Yes.
remediate that.
Yeah, gotta do that.
So if you went with option 1 or option 2, you would need to add $20,000 to the price I just gave you if you want to do the drop ceiling.
How much?
20,000, 20.
Okay, and then you also have on here commercial grade carpet. Was there any difference between that and the laminate flooring like we put in the office?
I think the reason why they were recommending the commercial carpet was for the acoustics.
Okay,
Solid,
that would
okay.
make sense too.
We did that in a training room in Row Services, our building, and we ended up going back in with carpet because it was so bad, the acoustics.
It's a shame, the floors look so much better. So, what do you people think?
Option
What's that?
2. Option 2.
Well, I knew that's where you were going. You made that clear at the last meeting.
That's right.
Speak into the microphone so they can hear you.
I was on option 2 and I'm still
Mr.
here.
Chair, over here. I just have a question, Chad.
Yes, ma'am.
So even with the acoustic ceiling, if they did like a vinyl plank flooring, remind us what we did in that one room. Did we have an acoustic ceiling in there as well
In
as
the
the?
training room, yes, ma'am. And we actually had acoustic, special ceiling tile for acoustic sound, and we still ended up going back in carpet. We're not saying you can't do that if the board wants to do the flooring, but I think the reason why when they quoted it, they recommended the carpet was because you do have issues when it comes to acoustic.
Could they put any, what are they doing with their doors back here?
Over in the clubhouse? This is
Yeah,
where
yeah,
the clubhouse
sorry.
next.
Yep. Could they put any, like we did in the commission auditorium, could they put any panels, acoustic panels on the walls?
I think it'd be really hard since there's so many windows in there.
Yeah, I didn't know.
That room has,
Remember
what's
the
it got,
walls.
like 4 or 6 windows on each side?
The suggestion that I had made is doing almost like you put an acoustic panel above each window, almost like a window treatment. Along, that's what, because we have the acoustic panels in the
Well,
youth center.
it says here an acoustic wall panel.
Yes.
They're giving us one wall panel?
I think that's just the way they wrote it.
Yeah.
It was just,
Dan, any remarks?
Well, I
Rico?
kind of already know which way this is gonna go. I mean, for me, I'm like, the 136, those big bills just scare the hell out of me. But, I know that if I tried to push through on the partial project and wait on the restrooms, I'm No, I don't think that's gonna work. I think it's gonna have to just be done. We've been talking about this as a board for some time. This is all a part about reinvesting into our existing infrastructure. Let's finish one and call it a day.
I have a question about the bathroom. Okay, this is a building that we rent out for parties and things. What would the bathrooms end up being? Because right now the men's room has 3 stalls in it.
I can get those details over to you from the engineer. Again, please don't quote me on it, but I believe it would go down to 2 stalls.
It would have, you think it would have 2
It
stalls?
would have 2 stalls. They would remove the 1 stall to make it ADA compliant. I think it goes down to, the last time that I was talking to Pete about the project, it goes down to 2 stalls.
And the ladies' room would be the same?
Saying, yes, sir.
Yeah, because I'd hate to see us spend this kind of money.
1 smaller, 1 handicapped stall is what it's gonna end up being.
Oh, okay. Because I won't want to see us spend this kind of money and then people go to rent the building and there's a line in the hallway.
Yeah, that wouldn't do.
And it would include widening the hallway by the bathrooms because you can't turn a wheelchair around there.
It's including making everything ADA compliant.
Okay.
Chair, it makes that facility more rentable for us as well by making it.
It makes it
ADA
safe.
compliant.
Yeah, I just want to make
Safe
sure the
now.
bathrooms have more than 1
Yeah, exactly.
stall in them. I mean, it would be futile to just renovate them the other way.
I've got no problem with the full renovation, but we also have another building that is in dire need of some work. And the Creative Arts Center is appalling. It's filthy. Power washing, I don't know if it's gonna do the job. It needs work, and it needs more than just a buff and a fluff. So that needs to be in the process also.
Well, we can absolutely bring that up in the five-year workshop. That would be excellent. One of the buildings, if the board chooses to put in their 5-year plan.
The thing is, that building is usable, and this one isn't. So we need to get this building usable, and I agree, if we're gonna do it, we need to do it right. We need to make it ADA compliant.
Well, I did,
And if you want to rent it out, you better make those bathrooms look people.
those bathrooms up?
You better make those bathrooms look nice.
You gotta speak into the microphone, Kathy.
And if I can just add to the conversation.
You know, as far as, you know, and we all know that the Creative Arts Center is a project of mine. Pam did inform me that they had bought paint, they're gonna paint at least for now. I do think the fact that the sidewalks are absolutely black and the building looks like a power washer, hasn't hit that building in 60 years it's been there.
She just took me on a tour of it before this meeting.
That's our own maintenance crew that will do that, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so I don't think something of that order is outrageous. There are 2 blocks of concrete that need to be replaced because they drop off about 2 inches. I think that's a start. I mean, there are other things I'd like to see done to the building, like the rooms being made larger and.
So keep in mind that that's.
But for right now, just painting it is going to be an improvement.
Mr. Chairman, the building is the split face block, and it is, the split face is a yellowish color. So I did notice on the south end of the building, there is a iron stain from the water. But the rest of the building, I didn't see anything. That building is a yellowy color, that's the color of the split face.
I think I was more talking about the spider webs and the.
Yes, I mean, go to the back of this building.
It's the way that block is, it
Yeah, it
catches
gets stuck in
everything.
there. Mhm.
And it should be something that's cleaned, you know, every few
Typically, they
years.
pressure wash every 6 months, but we haven't had,
Oh, that hasn't been
staff.
pressure washed in
Yeah.
years.
yeah, we haven't had the staff for it.
And another thing that is a bone of contention, the drain for the air conditioning, running out onto the sidewalk, that's just not good. It's not good, it looks nasty.
Yeah.
And then when it's blocking, when it's going underneath a doorway, that's not good either. So that's not acceptable.
That's gotta be a fire.
That's
code
gotta be a fire hazard. It's gotta be a violation of fire code.
I think right now we're okay because it's not a publicly used room, it's a storage room. I'm not saying it's okay, I'm just saying for right now. But yeah, that is something we need to address.
I mean, right behind that is the bathrooms. It would be very easy to take it out through the bathrooms, go in, and then shoot it under, or even if they had to cut a piece of concrete.
Yeah, and then
To
it's
shoot it
done
under
and
the
it's
concrete,
neat and
then
tight.
then it's out of the way, and we're not risking somebody slipping or something on it. Not like we
And
get
that's
ice
something,
storms.
again, we can bring up and make that one of your priorities, for sure.
Okay.
Okay, very good.
All right, so I guess it comes down to whether or not you people want to make a motion, a second, and vote on spending, where's the total?
$136,125.
Oh, up here. I'm used to seeing the totals at the
Yes.
bottom, just so
Sorry,
you
I was
know.
trying to make it easy.
If you want to add the acoustic ceiling though, it's another 20,000, so keep that in mind.
And I don't wanna
If you
do
the acoustic, it's 156.
I personally would go for acoustic ceiling, but I just don't think the board wants to spend that kind of money.
And I mean, and if the board wants to go with the vinyl flooring instead of the carpet, we can do that as well. I mean, just because that's how we quote, I don't want you to,
Well-
that's what I'm trying to push on you guys.
With your situation and having tried it and it didn't work, that makes good sense.
It was brutal for us, but.
We don't want it to be an echo chamber.
Yeah, I'm not against the carpet. I think the flooring looks better, but
And I agree, and we did too, that's why we put it in our training room. In our training room, one whole wall is glass, just like this, and so it was,
yeah.
They had suggested when I met with Pete and Zach to do carpet squares. So it doesn't look, because that carpet in there is basically new, and it's coming apart at the seams, the vacuum catches it. So the carpet squares might be a better solution, and it looks a little better.
With the carpet squares, you can take out the affected part, scrub them, dry
Right.
them, and put them back. I have a large sunroom, and that's what I have in there, and it's great.
Well, when I was working for the state, we used to do the same thing. All of the buildings that we had, all of the offices had the squares. And the reason why they went to that instead of doing the roll wall-to-wall carpets is because of damage, stains, and so on. Instead of replacing the whole rug, all you have to do is replace squares. It's because you end up with so much of it left over after the job anyway, it gets stored. And when you have damage, it comes out, gets replaced, you move on.
And it's easily cleanable.
And to answer your question, Chair, you're right. Chair, you were correct in your assumption. I would go ahead with the 136. I will not approve a 156.
Right, I didn't,
Right.
yeah. You know, I also want to remind this board that we have a recreation office that has a coffee bar in it that's not open, and has computer labs in it, and that building has mold in it. So that's another building that, you know, our staff has offices in that building, let alone residents if these things were opened. So, you know,
You can only do one thing at a time.
what's that?
You can only do one thing at a time, you can't do everything at once.
Agreed.
But again, you know, and I'm not, I'm,
$136,000 for
what's
the
that?
clubhouse. I remember that we spent $136,125 for the clubhouse.
Okay. So we have a motion for spending $136,125 by Paula, a second by Kathy, Brian. All right, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? No one. Motion carries unanimously.
And this building is a revenue generating building, so we'll make sure we start marketing it so that way we can get some of this money back as fast as possible.
Correct.
With what?
This building is compared to some of the other buildings we were talking about, this building is actually a revenue generated building. So we will start marketing it once it's completed to help try to get some of those funds back quickly.
You know, honestly, with me, that that doesn't float because that building barely gets rented. This building's sitting here, a beautiful building, and we get nobody in it.
That's something that we want to work on. For sure.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I think that in the near future, we need to rediscuss the fees on this building because I think we're way overpriced now for what we have next door. For what we have next door, you go over to Lake Tropicana, it's I believe $25 an hour, Pam?
I don't know.
I believe it's $25 and you've got the same type of building, nothing in it.
We can definitely review those.
You know.
Absolutely.
So I think that we need to address that because the revenues on these buildings have dropped to nothing.
I think the issue is the security. Because, you have security here at $65 an hour. And that is what has really, I think, hurt the rentals. So we need to figure out a way, so when we have our September special for our spring weddings, we will rotate an employee through those, and we'll have to have an employee work. Robert will rotate. So, but you have to keep in mind that whatever those hours are will be taken away from our regular job.
Right.
So.
I had a question about that anyway, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
It seems to me that when we brought this up before in a few meetings back, I can't even remember when, the security issue had been brought up, we had approved that, but the security being present during these events was for those events that dealt with alcohol, and not every single rental event.
Every rental event, you're required to have security because of the alcohol issue.
But that's what I'm saying, if this is,
No, we do not allow alcohol for anything. And
Correct.
they were bringing alcohol. That's why they were serving alcohol at the Sweet 15 party that they backed into the well. So-
okay, I think that we need to have a discussion about that, though. I don't necessarily agree that because of the bad behavior of a few, that now anybody that's renting the facility is subject to those same rules.
It's not just a few, it's every rental. I mean, we have the cleaning company that comes in and cleans, and they don't report anything. And they have complained to the office about the kids being served alcohol. So it's not just a few, it's like every rental. Even though you tell them there's no alcohol allowed, and they say, oh, we're not gonna drink, it's still happening. Because we don't have eyes on the place, we don't have staff here. We don't have enough manpower to do everything with 4 people. So that's why they're required to hire the security.
Okay, something for me to noodle on, thank you.
All right, I think we're going off track here. Tiffany, can you put on for next month's agenda the rental fees for the facilities? And include the gazebo in that too, because it sits there. And that would be this building, the youth center, and the clubhouse.
Correct, the clubhouse gets rented more when it's available, than it gets rented more than this building. Because it's the perfect size. We had someone call the other day and wanted to do a 50th anniversary party. They wanted that building, but they had to rent this one.
We just have to do something with the fees. I mean, these are great buildings, and we're about to spend almost, close to $140,000 on a building
I think a lot of it
that we
does
get
stem-
$35 an hour for. And
Yeah, I think a lot of it stems from the security. So we're trying to work with the employees where they take the rentals.
now, that building, they're not required to have the
You're
cop.
required to have security at
Oh,
any
they are.
rental.
And the
At
what?
any rental, you're required to have security because of the issue with the alcohol. The only one that we don't require it is the youth center, and that is because we have staff there because we have the snack bar.
Right, okay. All right, we'll put that on that.
And for Chad, what kind of time frame are we looking at
For,
for this project?
I'll get back with you on that. I'll ask Pete what the time frame is.
Okay.
I honestly don't have that with you. I should have, but I do not, but I'll get it.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay, moving on, 6C, disc golf at Seacliff Park. Discussion of the cost in installing disc golf in the park and the potential uses versus the expense. Anyone?
Wasn't my proposal.
No, it's not mine either.
I didn't propose it.
You know where I stand.
I'm gonna say this
I
right
am not
now.
willing to spend
I'll get this out. I don't believe we should spend money on something we don't have yet we have shuffleboard courts that are falling down, horseshoe pits that look like crap. And if we're gonna spend money, whatever the cost of this is, spend it over what we already have before we go and invent something new. It's my opinion.
Thank you, Chair. That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Oh, you agree with me for once tonight, huh? Thank you. You agree, Paul?
Well,
Dang,
I'm just
I was on a
thinking,
winning streak here.
we haven't had anyone play horseshoes or shuffleboard in a long time, and I don't know how popular that is anymore. But I think maybe disc golf might be a little more popular than shuffleboard or horseshoes.
I've had inquiries on the shuffleboard. They wanted to know when the thing was gonna be repainted and reopened.
Okay.
Well,
And then I was told that the paints had come in, but they were waiting to get that done.
Well-
I'm not against horseshoes or shuffleboard. I like horseshoes and shuffleboard. I'm just wondering if disc golf might be a little more used.
Well, I also wanted
I think one of the big problems with the shuffleboard is it looks like a little prison camp, the way it's fenced off with the gates and all. You expect to see guys in orange jumpsuits standing back there. You know? Yet, we have never put up the fence between the lake and the basketball and shuffleboard, so we have alligators sunning themselves on a basketball court. You know, so I just can't see spending money on something that is unknown yet. I'm not saying down the road, and it shouldn't be put in a 5-year plan, but I think before that, we should fix up what we already have. And then try to get people that want to join shuffleboard. I don't know how to play shuffleboard. You want to learn how to play shuffleboard?
Could you put a cornhole in?
Well, you know,
Beanbag.
we have 10 horseshoe pits out there, right? Is it 10, Pam?
10, I think so, yeah. Robert and I,
We have 10 horseshoe pits out there?
I believe so, yes.
We could turn 4 of them into cornhole,
Yeah.
you know, and just have 6. You know, what's
I
replacing
come and I
a,
wouldn't have to set my own boards up and take them
you know,
down every day.
replacing a few benches sitting out there, rebuilding the horseshoe pits, painting it. You know, it's not like it needs major renovations. It's not the clubhouse, I promise.
Okay, if we put it on the 5-year plan, I'll give it.
What's that?
If we at least put the disc golf on the 5-year plan, I'll be okay.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, and we'll discuss that. So, we don't need a vote or anything. This is just dead before it even gets anywhere, right? All right.
I'm with Paula on that. I think it should be added to our long run.
yeah.
I agree with
Add the
that.
5-year plan, sure.
I agree with that. I agree with the 2 other things that residents asked for, the splash pad and the dog park.
Thank you.
And don't give me a dog park won't work here, when I just recently find out Marion Oaks put in a dog park. Everything we have discussed, and all I sat for years from hearing from the board members, not the current board, liability. 7 years they rolled over $190,000 for a splash pad that we never got. Marion Oaks got a splash pad. Now we wanted a dog park, and that's the 2 things you hear people talk about the most. Marion Oaks got a dog park.
My dog has its own park.
What's that?
My dog has its own park.
My dog has its own park too, but other people like dog parks for some reason. My dog doesn't like other dogs.
Dog socialization.
So those are things that need to be discussed also.
Mine has an acre fenced in.
And that's what we're going to right now, the RLE 5-year plan workshop, input from the board members and the county officials concerning a 5-year plan for our district. Set up a date for the workshop for further discussion. See, we jumped the gun on it.
Only one of these dates works for me.
Well, which one?
It's September 11th.
Oh, well, that's the one we'll make sure we don't have.
Thank you.
I don't care which day it is. It's not like I have a life.
And if I need to go get some more dates, I can. I was trying to get it as soon as we can, but if you guys need to go into October, we're okay with that too.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's why I was pulling out.
So Dan, you're saying
My
second.
electronics out because I was like.
And keep in mind, every board member, come up with your ideas at what you think and what you want to see put in this 5-year plan. You know, think about it. You're going to have a month to think about it, give or take. Everybody but you, Rico.
So, Mr. Wicker,
I don't have.
I am absent September 21st.
What's that?
I was talking to Chad about my absence, and I will be returning on the 5th of October.
So September 11th works for Dan. Does September 11th work for everybody else?
No, it doesn't work for me.
What's that?
It doesn't work for me. I can't. I'm not gonna be here on September 11th.
You have what?
I won't be here on September 11th. We're gonna be going out of state.
So, Chad, you have another date in there that might work? That when do you get back?
16th or 17th?
Does anybody have anything pressing for October?
Yeah, I can go back and get dates for October if you guys tell me to stay away from certain dates.
We going away in October?
Yeah.
Are you?
Well, maybe not, maybe not. I'm not sure yet, so maybe I better not say.
Do you have an idea of a day that you may be gone?
The first week in October.
Okay. Okay. So the first week of the,
Like the 3rd through the 9th, I believe, something like that.
okay. Yes,
Maybe the second week in October, or second week in October.
That works for me. Thank you very much, Mr. Wicker, for being so accommodating.
What works for you?
The second week in October.
Mr. Chair.
Gee,
If you do the second week in October, I certainly cannot attend. We have a public hearing that day at 2
I
o'clock.
can't.
I've got this on, so I don't know why you can't hear me. If you do the second week in October, I cannot attend. We have a public hearing that day at 2 o'clock.
Yeah, I'd like you to be there. I really would.
So when
That's
go to
important.
the third week? We got anything in the third week?
Commissioner
I'm starting to
Ryan-
feel like I have nothing to do with during the
It'll
day.
be
Christmas pretty soon.
Commissioner Ryan, do you want to attend the first workshop, or do you want, okay? Gotcha. So
The
So you got a date?
How about the 23rd of October? You all want to look at your calendar?
That's fine with me.
I'm,
You're good. Whatever day.
if it's November 17th, bring birthday cake. That's all I say.
10:23 works good for me.
Yep.
Paul, are we going on vacation the 23rd?
No. I just want to see what day it was.
It's a Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday, that's fine. That's
And what day of the week is the 20th? I could have used my phone.
I looked at Wednesdays because I thought maybe since Chad had picked Wednesdays that you were looking for Wednesdays.
I was going by Tracy's drop schedule, to be honest, so,
Oh, okay, so you've got to check with Tracy too.
yes, but,
Correct.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So why don't you
It
do
is a
this?
Wednesday.
Why don't we look at a couple of different dates that they can do, and that way you can go ahead and take it back to Tracy?
Yes, ma'am. So right now I have the 23rd of October as one of the options. Is there another date that you guys prefer?
I think we're all good with the 23rd.
23rd, good start. Yep.
Did you all say that, did I hear someone say the 9th of October was not a good day?
Yeah, that was me.
Where are we going anyway?
Yellowstone.
How, do you know if you're back on Thursday, the 10th of October?
Yeah, I don't.
Okay. And I'm just trying to give Chad a couple of dates because Tracy's schedule stays very booked as well, and he wants to have her here. And then I'm assuming, are you gonna need to have Dana here as well? Or are you planning on having Dana here?
right now, we were just planning to have Tracy, and then MSTU staff and the advisory board, and Monier if he was available.
Okay.
And of course, any audience members that,
Oh, absolutely.
yeah.
It's a workshop.
How about October 17th?
17th, fine.
The 17th?
The 17th is the board.
I'm open,
That's a
I'll,
board meeting.
Well, I mean,
We could workshop it before or after.
you could work, I would work, your board meetings are in the evening, correct?
yes.
Like we are right now, so you could workshop it before and then take a break and go into your meeting.
Yeah.
We've done that before.
We've done that. We've done that at the
I'm
budget
good with
meetings.
that.
I'm okay with it.
So on the 17th, it would be in the evening.
No, it could be during the day.
Well, I would do, I mean, how long are you anticipating this workshop taking?
About 2 hours according to the schedule.
That's what I, just out of the typical default was 2 hours, less if we get done, you know.
You could start it at 3, be done at 5, take a dinner break, and then do your board meeting, kind of get it all done, or you could do it earlier. But you guys are gonna be out here anyway, and that kind of
Absolutely.
leaves you enough time to grab something to eat and then come back for the meeting and not have to go back all the way over into town and then come all the way back.
That's good.
So that's the day.
Hey, I'm easy.
Shoot for, it's either that one or the 23rd.
Okay.
Awesome. So that was easy.
Thank you, Commissioner.
You're welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.
So we're going with the 17th of October. Is that what
Well,
we're
he's
doing?
gonna.
I'm gonna check with Tracy Straub and Mr. Boyonis to make
So-
sure that 17th works for them, but if not, I was also given the 23rd.
Okay, so one or the other.
One or the other, I'll set it up and notify you guys if that's okay.
Excellent.
All right, that works for me. All right, that's the end of that. Any new business? Any board members have any new business they would like to discuss?
Yes,
Of course.
I told you to pack my lunch. I'm actually kind of glad that the commissioner is present for this. I heard there's been some inquiries made by the Marion County Board of County Commissioners, specifically Michelle Stone, and made an inquiry to Levy County, to Wilbur Dean, who is the county administrator, regarding changing the boundaries for Rainbow Lakes Estates, meaning that Levy County would take over the 14.4% that currently resides in that county, and Marion would cut that loose over to them. Now, I've heard that come back now 3 different times. This is something that's way beyond our scope here. But I truly, truly hope, Chad, this is one of the things that I had brought up in our budget hearing, that before anything happens, that a dialogue and discussion is had with this board, because there are a lot of different moving parts on that are going to be an issue if they continue to move forward in that direction. Most of the residents,
In which direction? Cutting Levy loose?
cutting Levy loose, okay? I have spoken to at least one of the commissioners in Levy County that confirmed it. They were present for that conversation or inquiry. They too are concerned. They are not set up for this kind of thing. And they're concerned about some of the issues that, would arise. Levy is not set up for a development. They have currently Williston Highlands, which is a real difficult point for them. They're not looking to take on the back part of Rainbow Lakes Estates. She did reach out to some of the other residents because I started hearing it back from other constituents in my area. And one of the things that we're concerned about is that we as a whole, including this particular commissioner, would be more than happy that's Levy saying this now, to go ahead and give Marion County the back part of Rainbow Lakes Estates, and they're hands off. They'll go to the legislature and ask them to redo the boundaries, do a land exchange, whatever is required. But they don't really want to take on the Levy County, or the backside of Rainbow Lakes Estates. So I'm hoping that if this inquiry does move forward, that we have serious dialogue and conversations about this.
I also heard similar from
Okay.
Levy County. It's also, I believe the inquiry was just based on some comments board members had made at
At the hearing?
the budget hearing.
Yeah.
I think the response that was returned was, you can have Rainbow Lakes Estates. Probably shocked Marion County because they have no interest
No, they don't.
they claim to have two, and I know you've heard this because you've attended their meetings, have two problem areas, the Williston Highlands, which they wish they could get rid of, and Rainbow Lakes Estates. They've worked recently with Marion County, and as far as all their zoning, they adopted Marion County's entire zoning policies.
That was a
everything.
brutal battle for me.
They really, it was even said that if the state were to require it'd be a land swap, they'll take some crap land over there in Romeo. I don't know what any of that means, but this is way above us, but I just know that taking that portion of Levy County, if that were to ever happen, would correct a 60-some-year-old problem, because we should have never ran between two counties.
Agreed, and to be honest with you, the feedback that I've been getting from the residents that were contacted and have heard about this is that when they came in and purchased in Rainbow Lakes Estates 40, 50 years ago, it was with the then understanding of what it is today. If they cut it loose and they turn that all over to Levy, all of the work that we did over the past 2 years for zoning goes away.
Yeah.
All of the access would also go away, and it concerns me for Rainbow Lakes Estates as a whole. We lose 14.4% of your annual budget.
Which was why I opposed the mobile homes coming in. Not that I have anything wrong with mobile homes.
I don't either. I live
On
on
quarter-acre lots with limited, I believe Marion County has 7 or 9 code enforcement people. Levy County is 1.5.
They only have 2.
Well, what happened? Oh, they gave them a full-time, now they have 2.
Now they have 2.
You're talking Marion County with, 380,000 residents, and Levy County with 45,000.
Exactly.
They make no secret that they want to stay rural.
That's what.
And the infrastructure, with it reverting back, would destroy us. Because they're not going to drive to Chiefland to the shopping store. They're going to drive right through Rainbow Lakes. They're going to continue to use the parks, playgrounds, and lakes. If it were to go forward, I would hope it would be them becoming part of us.
One moment, Commissioner, please.
That battery's dead, sorry. If I may, one commissioner can't arbitrarily make anything happen.
Right.
And I have not been privy to any of these conversations. This is the first that I've heard about it. And there will be some discussion that will be had about it. And I'm just gonna leave it there. I talked to Tracy, that date works for the workshop, the 17th.
Okay.
Excellent, excellent.
Oh, Dan, I think you got somebody in trouble.
Didn't mean to do that, but thank you for your input.
All good.
All right, any more new business? As a hush fell over the board.
I think we've caused enough trouble already.
What's that?
We've caused enough trouble already, yeah.
All right, I'm trying to get through this. Prior meeting updates. Any board members have any updates they want to discuss? Okay, general public comment. Do we have anybody signed up? Is there anybody that wants to speak before the board? You're all quiet tonight. All right, that's general public comments. Do any board members or guests have, I'm going into announcements now. Any board member or guests have anything they would like to announce?
Do you want to clarify that time?
Oh, you need that other.
Chad, do you want to clarify the time for the 17th? Do you think 3:30 to 5:30, giving you guys an hour for a break? How far are you going to have to go? Or would you rather do 3 to 5 with an hour and a half for a break before your meeting? Maybe we could possibly have something.
Say an hour and a half.
If you did the 3:30 to 5:30, maybe you could possibly have something sent in and you guys could take a dinner break and then go into your workshop. I don't know if that's something that you're interested in doing, but you might want to set it, go ahead and get your time set for that while you're all here.
I'm easy, I said.
It's the preference of the board.
I have no preference.
None of us do.
No, I'm available anytime, so it's.
I'm here, so it's whatever the board would want, 3 to 5 or 3:30 to 5:30, either one of those works for us.
What's that? 3:30?
3:30 to 5:30?
Yeah, that's
3:30, okay.
There we go, 3:30 to 5:30.
And order some pizza.
Just don't call DoorDash. It takes 49 minutes to get here from Pavarotti's.
At least you have that option, okay? Those of us in the back, they go, sorry, we don't deliver out there.
No, Pavarotti's does now.
Not to the back.
DoorDash.
They won't come back there.
When's the last time
We
you called?
just got Instacart.
Cave people.
They're like, you live where? Oh no, I'm sorry.
Shut up, Dan. The next meet and greet dinner will be held here at the Rainbow Lakes Estates Community Center on Friday, September 27th at 6 p.m. We are serving hamburgers and hot dogs. Friday, October 15th from 5 to 9 p.m. is our Ghost, Ghouls, and Goblins Halloween party held in the Rainbow Lakes Estates Youth Center. This is a must-attend event for children and families. Volunteers are desperately needed, so to volunteer, please contact Robert Howard in our Recreation Department. Our annual Fall Crafts Festival will be held on Saturday, November 9th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. It's held here in our Community Center complex. Sign up in advance to reserve your space by contacting the district office. Again, this year, the RLE Advisory Board will have a table and be available to answer questions and address concerns from residents. This is a wonderful event, and I hope to see everyone there. Our next advisory board meeting will be held on Thursday, September 19th, 2024 at 6:30 p.m. here in the Community Center, and this meeting's adjourned. Thank you all for coming.